Alright, welcome back. We are about to start our final match of the night and our final match of the regular season. This is the second semifinal between the University of British Columbia and Digipen.
Yep, sounds like it's going to be a really exciting match. I mean, we just saw NYU qualify for the finals to head over to DreamHack Austin, and we'll see who's going to be playing against them between these two strong teams. Of course, you have to be strong to make it this far, and we'll see what kind of decks they brought tonight, whether it's just like the same old that we've been seeing all throughout the season, or maybe if they brought something different. We'll
Yeah,
see
this.
what. Yep, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, this series has a lot of hype to it too because um, I think the other day there was some trash talk going around. We had, um, Team UBC just going all out saying that Digipen strategy was to lose, and then they made it,
Yeah, there,
and
there's
then
some trash talk going on.
yeah, and then they accidentally did the brackets wrong because they got queued into UBC, and I didn't read the full article about what Digipen was saying, but they were saying, yeah, we're basically expected to be here.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good trash talk. It's all good. Um, Definitely have to see which team could put their plays behind their words.
And I mean, for making it this far, they're already walking away with something. But yeah, to make it to DreamHack or not is a pretty big deal. You definitely want to win tonight, as we were discussing in the first match. But looks like the players are jumping into the first game, getting ready to start up this best of five between these two semifinalist teams. Looks like it's going to be John Adrian Lee versus Rivulets. And it's going to be a warrior mirror match.
Wow.
Ooh.
So we've got two golden warriors here. But will it be Magni or Garrosh that reigns superior?
I mean, Maggie's armor up definitely sounds a lot nicer. Oh, and they're both
Fortunately,
patron warriors.
Oh,
yeah, it
patron
looks like
mirror.
they're both patron. Don't worry, guys.
Alright, alright.
It's not double control warrior. We're not going to be here for an hour.
No resident sleepers yet.
This matchup is actually really interesting too because it could go either way. Definitely, if you get patrons on the board first, it's definitely more favored for you.
Right.
However, if they don't have a battle rage to follow it up, and the other patron warrior could deal with the board and make their own patrons, then it's definitely a really close matchup for both sides. Really depends on what their hand is. Um, Looking at both sides, I definitely like Rivulet's hand a lot more because he does have the Death Bite and the Inner Rage ready to go.
Right.
Um, but King of Kimchi, not too far away from him. He has the Death Bite, which is probably the most key card you can have in this matchup.
Right.
Yeah, maybe we'll see a patronless mirror match. Maybe neither of them will draw into it, and somehow
Maybe that's
someone
like
will
the most fair patron fight. 'Cause a lot of times I feel like right, it's whoever gets like that dream combo off first runs away with the game a lot of times, unless
Yep.
you
Yeah.
have some very good board control already to help you clear that up.
Yeah.
Unstable
Rivulet is
Pool.
looking a little closer.
Unstable Pool is actually a pretty tricky card to use in this matchup because if you play it and then the warrior has like a weapon already set up, he could just play his own patron and kill the
Right.
ghoul, and then he gives the other player more patrons. So Unstable Pool is
Right.
really hard to use. I actually think playing it on turn two might have been the best,
Yeah.
just because it's not threatened by acolyte pains or there's no weapon already developed. So you could also save it for later when you make patrons so that you could protect your own patron board.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. He's either thinking he's gonna play it with his own patron or just never play it.
Yeah.
If he's not playing on turn two. But Frothing Berserker coming out here, and not a great way to deal with it at the moment. Could just wait till Death Spite next turn.
Yeah, I'm surprised King of Kimchi didn't play it one of the minions the last turn, so he could have dealt with the anything that came out with the weapon. I guess he wants to use the War Axe more efficiently and man them better. Or maybe he's just role playing as a control warrior.
Yeah, this. I actually think this
Role
is.
playing controller.
I think that was actually a kind of a tough decision to decide which one to kill.
Right.
We went with the Frothing Berserker, which means he's gonna take less damage, but it could cost him if Rivulets ends up drawing into patrons off of the extra draws he'll get off this
Yeah.
Acolyte. like slamming your own acolyte looks pretty good here.
Yeah,
Right.
it does look good, but he could also just set up the Deathbite now, just so he has, like, if he draws Patron next turn, he could go Patron, Inner Rage, and
Right.
he has a Deathbite ready for it. But King of Kimchi also have a Deathbite set up as well, so he's might be thinking if he equips the Deathbite, he might not want to swing with it this turn, because if King of Kimchi goes for Patrons, he doesn't want the Deathbite Death Route to go off while he's
Yeah.
trying to clean a board up.
I
I
actually
mean,
think
with
we
this
still go
hand,
for it though. Because so with the slam in hand, you actually have a relatively decent clear, right? Like if it happens to be that King of Kimchi goes for patrons this turn, if you pick him and execute, you can get a full clear.
Yeah. It looks like he is going for the card draw here with the Inner Rage.
yeah, I actually really don't like using the inner rage.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I would have rather just used the slam if anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna push through a little bit of damage, but I mean, I think what really matters is just making as many patrons as possible. One of the main reasons why I like slam that turn the most is because he could end up death spiting on turn 5, and like let's say he draws a patron at some point in there. He has Death Spite, Whirlwind, and Inner Rage all to multiply his patrons, so he would have almost a board full of patrons, and that makes it pretty much unwinnable for the other
Yeah.
patron warrior. At this point, he might think it's Control Warrior though, which
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, because he
yeah,
hasn't seen any kind of patron card come out of King of Kimchi's hand yet.
yeah,
So
and
if he
that's why I think he's playing like this.
yeah, definitely. But for King of Kimchi, he knows that Review it's playing patron because he saw the Frothing Berserker. So just by playing like King of Kimchi, he's actually role playing as a control warrior, thinking the other patron warrior play differently and suboptimally to what he would normally do in the mirror matchup.
Right. All right, the second Acolyte being picked up though is actually pretty good. Not as good as something like a Grim Patron, but still solid.
You could go for the slime on his acolyte here. I think if you were thinking you're playing against a control warrior, you would still make that play because you just want to go through your cards really fast.
Yeah, he's just got
Before
nothing to do.
yeah, before control warrior picks up the tools they need to deal with the eventual patrons.
Right. Interesting though. Both these players are approaching turn 6 and still no patrons.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes the matchup more exciting, right?
Right.
Because now we don't have a blowout patron turn, and
Right.
just yeah.
This is like kind of equivalent of both druids not drawing their ramps.
Yeah, no
little
inner rates,
more
no
fair
wall
fighting.
throws.
Yeah.
John Adrian Lee, or in-game known as King of Kimchi, recently signed with Team HD, a local Vancouver team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Looking to make a good showing here.
Mhm.
Oh, the second Inner Rage, pretty good pickup. Still no patrons though.
Never
River-
patrons. Battle Rage. Are we going for Battle Rage for 3 here? I think it's pretty decent. Battle Rage for 3,
Yeah.
boom next turn, seems fine.
Yeah, that's definitely not bad. Yeah, the stable ghoul. He doesn't see any weapons developed yet, so if he had his own patron, he can't really play patron and a weapon to deal with the ghoul to get more.
Right. So theoretically though, if he plays the damaged ghoul here, it's possible that if Rivulas draws patron, he could still do execute inner rage patron inner rage execute or patron inner rage whirlwind. Just going
yeah.
to turn 6.
That's true.
Either of those would be pretty valid. I feel like at any point now, it's like you still really want your patron, right? But I want to go for this battle rage. Okay, so King Kim is just gonna play it safe here. He's like, we're not gonna throw out this ghoul without killing it. We're just gonna take the draw for 2 instead.
Okay. Seems fine. And he develops the War Axe as well.
Right.
Because he wants to play Dr. Boom next turn anyways.
Right.
I guess he doesn't want to look too hard into finding the patron.
Yeah, that seems fine. Finally, and Frothing Berserker ready to go. The Rivulets, but yeah, Frothing Berserker with the Fireworks looks solid this turn. Just take out the Armor Smith. He probably realizes he is playing against Patron now since the Battle Rage came out last turn.
Yeah. Still not setting up the Death Bite though. He does have the Inner Rage and the Whirlwind. So I guess he doesn't really need the Deathbite anymore to be set
Right.
up.
Dr. Boom is going to be coming out here. It looks like he's also just going to be interraging off this Frothing
Oh, yeah.
Berserker here.
I think this is right because that Frothing Berserker could get really big, especially when you just made 3 minions on the board.
Right.
Yep.
You could trade with your Boom very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely worth killing off there, I think. Still no patrons for either player. We are...
Truly patronless patron match.
Yeah, we're at the halfway mark for Rivulets. He's got 15 cards left in his deck, and King of Kimchi has 18 left. Execute gonna be able to deal with this pretty easily. Orcron getting played straight in the Fireworks doesn't look that great.
Yeah, he might just swing with the War Axe and equip the Deathbite. That's probably what I would like to see. I was a bit interested to see the Whirlwind. I wouldn't mind using the Corcoran and Face to kill the Dr. Boom just because you're at a pretty safe life total anyways. Maybe save those Whirlwinds for when you draw Patron. That way it's just really hard for the other Patron player to keep clearing them. If they clear off a couple but they can't kill all of them, then you just keep Whirlwinding.
Yeah.
Right.
Looks like he is gonna smork it up here. Interesting decision, seeing as the Fireworks is ready to go. He does have
Yeah.
Grommash and Deathspite and Inner Rage, so he
Yeah.
might be looking at potentially just bursting King of Kimchi.
Yeah, because even if the Corcoran dies to the axe, it did 8 damage, so that's still quite a lot. And with the Grommash Inner Rage, that's another 12. So the Warwick hits it, he'll be at 15. The Grom Inner Rage is 12. And then he could kill him with the Deathbite. Just no taunts come up. However, we do see King of Kimchi with a couple taunts.
Right. And so this Corcoran has to be answered because actually Rivulets is going to be able to push lethal pretty soon if King of Kimchi doesn't find some way to deal with this.
I would like to see the Acolyte slam your own Acolyte Battle Rage, probably.
Yeah.
Just so you draw a lot of cards.
Oh, this rope is coming in. We're going to make it in time. Holy
Okay.
crap. Both these players have drawn so many cards and there's not a patron in sight.
Are they even playing patrons in their list?
Yeah,
Maybe
are
they're
there
just playing
patrons in here?
Weapon, Temple, Warrior, or something.
Yeah. But this is gonna be a 2-turn lethal.
Yeah.
Actually, so, no, because if Kimchi armors up, he'll be at 17. If he chooses to gain some value with the Armor Smith,
Yeah, you can
Still
play
be
the
okay.
Armor. The Armor Smith stops. Oh no, because he can Inner Rage the Grom. I was gonna say if he didn't have Inner Rage, then he would have to attack with a weapon first, and he gains extra life off Armor Smith.
right? But I think we're gonna have to go for a defensive play here, just because we should be a little wary of Rivulet's hand.
Yeah.
So,
both
would you
players
develop
have
the
the same
taunt as
patron.
well?
Yeah.
Literally no patrons in these decks.
You want to play the Unstable Ghoul? I think Unstable
Yeah.
Ghoul here is like still really risky because if
Right.
Rivulet draws the patron
Right.
while he has the Ghoul plus the Deathbite setup, it's going to be really bad.
Yeah. Alternatively, he could just use a Whirlwind along with the Armor Smith and perhaps also the Frothing.
I think he might just go for the. Oh, if he goes
Whoa.
for the Armor Smith, he's just dead, right?
Right. You have to armor up here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, he sees that.
So he's only dead to his second Inner Rage, I believe.
Yeah, but Rivulet used the second one on the Acolyte.
Right. Alright, so we've got an extra draw here.
You slam this Corcoran and then hit the Frothing. I would have to imagine. Otherwise, that Frothing's just going to get too big too quick.
Right. Question is, are we playing this pirate?
You can play
Arg.
the Pirate and the Armor Smith, gain 2 armor from that,
Right.
if he wishes.
Arg. Avast! What does he say? Dread Corsair?
I'm not sure, actually.
Maybe that's some other pirate I'm thinking of.
Okay, so he doesn't want to get his pirate damage.
Oh no, finally we see the first patron drawn.
Oh, yeah.
You're telling me this is a patron warrior deck? I thought this was just like some kind
What
of
face?
mid-range.
Yeah, mid-range smork deck, you know.
Yeah. What's going on here?
His patron isn't even too good yet.
No, I don't
Because he
think
can
we
only
can
make
do it
one.
yet.
He can only have 2 patrons on a board, which is pretty easy to clear.
Right.
Uh,
Still got to be wary of Grom Lethal, even though that weapon is gone.
mhm.
So what's the play here? So we have a couple options. We could clear off this 3/3 with the Grom, or we could set up another ghoul play, or we could charge our Corcoran, but it feels kind of bad.
I actually
Yeah.
kind of like Patron, Armorsmith, Ghoul, Whirlwind, or like not specifically in that order, but I like getting the Ghoul and the Patron out at the same
Right.
time, and the
Okay.
Armorsmith for the gaining the
Right.
armor.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're going to play patron, you probably want to play ghoul with it under. He goes for the
think he-
Grom.
It's
Yeah.
gonna go for the Grom.
It's
Oh, and it's
interesting.
still choosing not to play the Armorsmith out.
Yeah. Well, he gains more life if he just armors up here.
Right.
What's interesting is because King of Kimchi hasn't seen any executes yet from review it, so if he had to execute, he would lose quite a bit of tempo. He might actually go for this unstable ghoul Grom and just hide the Grom under the ghoul.
Yeah,
And
there.
if he doesn't draw out the second execute, he's just dead, right?
Well, Corcoran could take out the Ghoul, and then Brahms can trade.
Oh yeah, okay.
But, I mean, he's also thinking some of the weapons have been used. Yep, picks up a Fireworks anyway, and I think this is going to be a big turning point for King of Kimchi. Now he can play his Patron, play his Armorsmith, play a Whirlwind, gain a lot of armor, get a bunch
Yeah,
of
this is a huge
Patrons,
turn.
and kill the Grom.
So he's gonna get 4 patrons, plus he gets all of the armor in the world. And Rivulance is only down with 1 card left in his hand. That's just a whirlwind, so it's not going to be doing that much.
Yeah, wow, what a weird game for like the patron mirror. Usually someone just gets their patrons out, business as usual, and then like the game's over. But this time it's taken a while. You know, I said we weren't gonna be here for an hour. It's not a controller, but this game has taken a little while to process all the way through here. Rivulets has a lot of problems now on his hands. So many patrons.
I think what was interesting is that Rivulance had a couple of turns where if he just drew his patron, he probably would have been in the position King of Kimchi is in right now.
Right.
But he just never drew his patrons, and he had to just go for the all-in play with the Grom to the face, and it couldn't work. It just didn't work out for him.
Yep, so we're gonna see probably a trade at the Armorsmith could kill off one of the 3 health Grim patrons, and then he's probably just hoping he draws into his own patrons and somehow comes back from there.
Yeah, he's still at 26 life, so he does have 28 life now, so he does have some time to maybe try to grind this game out. Could this game go to fatigue? Probably not. Especially if he just plays the second ghoul
Right.
to protect his other patrons on it.
Alrighty, so we're probably drawing in towards the final turns of this game. Things are looking really good here for Drawn Adrian Lee of UBC Esports. Rivulets from Digipen. Not looking so good this game. I mean, just not getting those patrons earlier on was such a big problem.
Yeah, I think what John Adrian Lee is thinking about is how could he lose this game from this point? What's the safest route? Let's go for the Corcoran to put the clock a bit deeper. He could have also thought about playing the Acolyte so he gets extra fuel.
Right.
Well played.
Yeah, that's going to be the well played coming out from Rivulets. Didn't see a single patron the whole
Oh
game.
man.
Right. It's gotta be rough.
We have 9 cards left in the deck, but hey, sometimes it happens. Sometimes it just happens in the semifinals of a big tournament like this. But, that's
Never
Hearthstone.
lucky.
And yeah, UBC taking the win. I mean, Never Lucky is actually in the background of Digipen's banner here on our
Oh, really?
website.
Oh,
So
oh yeah, it is. That's
Nice.
great.
they might have wanted to take that down or something for the semifinals, but hey, they got it the way they wanted, I guess. And yeah, starting off, both Warriors out of the equations for both teams here. Once again, I'll go over the format. It is a best of 5. Once a class has been played, it can no longer be played from the school that played it. So, Warrior has been played now from both schools. Neither of them can play Warrior for the rest of the match. Um, yeah, so kind of a unique format we've had here going at the CSL in this team play. And yeah, once again, it is best of 5. So next up, we're gonna have Force Dog from UBC versus Joshua 135 from Digipen. All right, now both Warriors are gone. What do we think people are gonna play, huh? I mean, there's still like Druid, there's Warlocks available. Warlock is super popular because it's so versatile. What do you guys think? Maybe like some Zoo?
Yeah, Zoo has definitely been really popular lately. I would imagine that the Warrior Mirror is not what they wanted to queue up into, because the Patron does have like so many stronger matchups, and the Mirror is a little bit of a toss up, right? As we saw with the Patron shenanigans there.
Yeah, definitely a bit awkward running into that matchup straight up, like at the start of the match. Yeah, I mean, kind of similar to Druid versus Druid, like we mentioned, which I think is very possible for this next game. Wouldn't that be something if we saw
Just
Patron
5
versus
mirror
Patron, then
matches.
Druid versus Druid? Yeah, a bunch of mirror matches.
That's how you figure out who's the better team, right? You just make them both play the same decks.
Yeah,
See who
I
plays them
mean,
better.
that actually would be a good way of testing like who's better at like specific um like I guess matchups with those decks. But overall Hearthstone, like there are a lot of different classes and stuff, so
Yeah, we like
it's
equal
still a good
opportunity.
yeah, still a good aspect to test out who picks what decks for what matchups. So that's definitely a lot of the strategy involved in the game. But yeah, once again, the winner of this match is going to be moving on to the finals at DreamHack Austin, playing up against the New York University Violet Teachers. So that should be pretty sick. I mean, lots on the line here, just like in that first match. And it's got to feel pretty good to be up 1 game already from the side of UBC.
Yeah, especially in a close game like that, it definitely has to feel good to come out the winner on that one.
Yeah, for sure. What an awkward matchup, though, that first game. Like we were saying, just no patrons until the very end.
Yeah, it was just whoever drew that patron was probably going to win. But it didn't seem like John Adrian Lee came out with he had more fuel. He ended up drawing more cards. It seemed like in the course of the game, so that card advantage did give him the edge at the end. Um, but then if Rivulets drew a patron at any point, he probably could have came up ahead.
Yep. Yeah, so I guess that's the last of Patron we'll be seeing here on CSL. I mean, I guess maybe the finals.
Oh yeah, that's true because Standard's going to be out by then, right?
Yeah, I think so. When exactly is DreamHack Austin again?
It's in May, I think.
Yeah.
And then Standard's coming out April 26th, we believe, or
Yeah,
around
so
there.
that's kind of interesting. Qualifying for the finals that'll be played at DreamHack Austin, which will probably be a different format.
Yeah, I mean, I think Patron still has some sort of viability coming into Standard from. It's when Standard first got released, we all thought Patron's going to be dead because of the Death Bite. But then we got cards like that Tentacle thing that just does 1 damage to everything on the board. And then we have that new Warrior card that does 1 damage as a battle cry when he comes onto the board.
Right.
So Patron still could be alive, hopefully, in the next format. I hope it does, because I don't want Patron to just be dead.
I still need to check what exactly what cards we'll be playing with. Like I forget what set our patrons from again? Like, is that even going to be legal?
BlackRock. So BlackRock should be good for 1 more year, right? So
Yeah, okay.
yeah,
So Naxxramas and
GVG.
GVG are gone?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then next year, BlackRock and TGT will be gone.
Yeah, I went and like
I
reviewed it
think
at some point, but I just
I
forgot.
think
Someone there.
League of Explorers came out the same year as BlackRock and TGT, right?
League of Explorers was it very early this year?
No, it came out in BlizzCon, which was last
Oh, you're
year.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
It was very end of
Yeah, that's the end
2015.
of. So how does that work? Would
It's gonna
all
be
three
rotated
sets?
out in the same year,
Oh,
unfortunately. I
is
think.
it?
Yeah.
Damn. There's gonna be like no cards left then.
Right. No cards that we know now.
Yeah, no, all the cards that we know now is gonna be like gone next year.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm personally
Wow,
just
that's
hoping.
mind-blowing.
Yeah, I'm personally just hoping Blizzard puts out more cards more often.
Yeah, they're gonna have to push out quite a few cards this year then to make up for that.
Mhm. But
Right.
anyways, we are into game here. We've got Force Dog playing what looks like a Secret Paladin versus the Cajun, who looks like a pretty standard combo druid, but he doesn't have Wild Growth or Innervate, so that's probably going to pose some problems here in the early game. We had a turn 1 Redemption played by Force Dog, which is pretty
Yes.
solid when you followed up with a Knife Juggler.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really good. Protects against like Wrath, even like Innervate Keeper comes right back.
Especially
So-
while he has Cog Hammers ready
Right.
for next turn. Super strong. Does he play the Cog Hammer though? He does have the Truth Silver next turn, so he might just go for a Secret Keeper. But then, since he's at Redemption, he doesn't want to play a Recruit, I guess.
If you're just going to keep this Knife Juggler up and let it push through some damage, we could see a Keeper of the Grove for Silence this turn.
Yeah. Seems like that will be the play. With Force Dog, break his Cog Hammer just to play Truth Silver Champion, so. With the
Yeah.
Shooter mini bot, it doesn't seem like he has to. He could go for like Secret Keeper mini bot, and then his Redemption still getting a pretty good target on anything. If he wants to play the value on his Cog Hammer, but the Cog Hammer would just be doing 2 damage to the face, so it's a pretty hard decision, I say.
Right.
Yeah, I'm actually not too sure what I would. For personally, I would go for the mini bot Secret Keeper because I'm a little greedy, but I can definitely
mean-
see the Truth Saber being justified.
Yeah, you don't just want to throw away like the whole Cog Hammer. You would like to get that extra damage in.
Yeah.
And the Keeper of the Grove, I guess it'll probably trade with Secret Keeper.
So
He
he's
might
gonna
trade with Knife
go
Juggler.
with yeah. I like this too. I don't want to trade here, but I think putting the 1 damage into it is fine.
Yeah.
In the case that this keeper doesn't end up trading, we can still take it out with our weapon next turn.
Or if he trades into like the Secret Keeper, he could just
Right.
kill it again with the Secret Keeper.
Yeah, so the question is, what is he going to trade this Keeper of the Grove into? Might bring back a Knife Juggler. That's a 3-1, unsilenced.
Yeah, he's probably expecting it to be an Avenge, right?
Right.
So if he kills the Knight Juggler, he actually just brings it back and gives it the effect again. But he does have the swipe. The swipe's not too good.
Oh, he's actually gonna go face here because he's actually like thinking that's gonna be Avenge.
Yeah, I mean if he knows for sure it's Avenge, I think going face is the best play. Or he's going to pop off with Divine Shield.
Yeah, I mean, also, if it's Avenge, though, and you kill the Secret Keeper, you have a 50-50 chance of being able to kill the Knife Juggler and the Divine Shield. I guess you get really punished if it lands on the mini-bot, though.
Mhm.
Oh, so it's actually going to go in on the shield here. Man, and Forsyth is laying down the Loatheb and saying, we're going to smork him. It's like, right, there's no trading here.
Yeah, sometimes that's just what you want to do, especially when you haven't seen Wild Growth, you haven't seen Innervate. Like, you've got a board like this, which Druid usually has trouble dealing with, and now he can't play swipe on this next turn, so
I actually don't like this trade here. Force Dog is thinking, alright, I might actually trade in this 1-2. He can't kill it this turn because he already attacked with his mini bot. So
He can use his Tug Hammer, right?
okay.
I think it's actually alright because he's got the redemption up. He doesn't want a
You
redemption
get
to Secret
destroyed
Keeper.
though. You get destroyed by like a Doomsayer here.
Well, yeah, but that's like one in.
You get destroyed when
Alright.
Doomsayer comes out most of the
Yeah.
time.
But like why even try to remove it? See, like he didn't even end up attacking here. I think if you went all phase and we went True Silver next turn, we would have lethal, right? If we put an extra 3 on a face, he's a 15.
Well, I still think this is okay, even though he didn't
Yeah, that's
attack,
true.
because he just takes the Secret Keeper off the board. That way, it can't get redemption.
He could also be thinking about MC Tech.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be the biggest reason because even if he gets MC Tech, you really don't care because he just wasted his Shredder attacking into the Secret Keeper that just got revived.
Right.
Yeah. So redemption as well as the MCT. Yeah. Probably mainly the MCT. Yeah. And not a very good Shredder.
Not quite a Doomsayer.
Almost.
Alright, so how do we trade into this 4-4 here?
I'd probably just use my face and the mini bot so you play around swipe better. Yeah. This game could still go either way. Druid is at 8 though, so this True Silver does represent lethal if Druid doesn't hero power for life or draw a lore or a taunt. But his hand really is clunky with these Force of Natures.
This is actually good that he's doing the roots first. So if the Knife Juggler is gonna come back, he'll see with 1 health. He can still swipe this Lothid.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
sets up a perfect clear.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he's not gonna.
Not going to clear? Wait,
Yeah,
if
I
he doesn't
think he
clear, he's
has
just
to.
dead.
I think he
Yeah.
has to kill the Lotheb here. Like,
Realize that. We also got a little Druid bugging going on the screen here.
Yeah, my spectator has been bugging out a lot too. Like, I saw a Warlock compare Spirit and a free piloted Shredder.
Wow.
But
Quickly
what is he
re-enter the
worried
match
about
here.
here? I mean, I don't think he can beat a Noble Sack. I think he just has to go for the trade on the Lotheb and the swipe.
I think
that's.
I
like,
think he attacked. Did he attack some other turn?
Yeah,
Where
we
he was
gotta
going to secret?
swipe here.
I don't remember if he attacked yet into the.
So he had attacked before, but then another Seeker was played, and I think it might have been that he wasn't paying attention to which one was procced first.
Oh, you do get punished if you don't pay attention.
He's gonna swing with the True Silver here, still setting up lethal unless Cajun finds either Taunt or Ancient of War.
Yeah,
Oh,
Wild
that's
Growth
not
is
it.
not gonna do it.
Oh man. That's game.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we might be off to an early 2-0 lead here. I mean, I just don't see a way out here for the Cajun. And as long as Force Dog sees as lethal, which I assume, yeah, we're just gonna see the
There's no other
Cajun.
way to go. There's no other way to drag the card if you just play Shade.
So let's see if he sees the lethal. But,
Maybe he disconnects.
yeah. But yeah, that's a 2-0 lead for UBC over Digipen. Man, we've seen so many 2-0 leads, but we have seen a reverse sweep. We saw one pretty recently. I think it was like on Wednesday. We saw a reverse sweep, and yeah, it's still possible here for Digipen, although it's gotta feel rough to be down 2 games.
Yep, and we do have team captain Itzbolt going to try to seal off the 3-0 victory. He's going to be playing against Zazder.
Alright. I gotta cheer for my buddy here. Rooting for Itzbolt to make it.
All right, then I'll cheer for Zazder. I mean, someone's
Right.
got to be on the side of Digipen here. They're in a rough spot right now, man. They don't even have a game win at this point. And you know, looking at the decks that have been played, we've seen Warrior and Paladin from UBC, and we've seen Warrior and Druid from Digipen. So what do we think Itzbolt's gonna bring out here? I mean, Freeze Mage looks pretty good.
Yeah, Freeze Mage does seem pretty juicy. In terms of who I'm rooting for, I'm not too sure who I could root for. Like UBC is the rival school for my city, so don't want them to just go DreamHack that easily. But yeah, I probably have to cheer on for It's Ball. We're taking sides here mainly because we do practice and help each other out a lot.
Sure, sure, man. Yeah, yeah, I mean, just looking at this game, it's Bull, you know, like he's done pretty well in the Hearthstone scene. You know, he's definitely a known player, I think, and going up against Zazder from Digipen, you know, I assume he probably plays a lot of competitive Hearthstone along with whatever else he's got going on, but yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder if he might be as experienced as It's Bull when it comes to it.
Definitely, all these players have to be pretty good if they made it this far into the tournament. This like this, especially in this format with the Swiss stages and this playoff bracket, it was definitely a really long grind for both of these teams.
Yep. Yeah, definitely not trying to discredit anybody here. The guys that are here definitely deserve to be here after all the games and matches they played through to get this far. But
Right. So all of these top four players have played an enormous amount of games to get here in the first place. Because first they passed the Swiss stage of playing everyone in their group, and then they've made it all the way here through single elimination bracket.
yeah,
So
yeah,
gotta
we
give it to
started
these
up
guys. They've already done incredibly well this season.
yeah, we started at round of 32, I think, for the single elimination, and then we had the round of 16 down to the round of 8, and now we're down to the round of 4. I guess, I mean, we already know who's going through out of the last match. New York University VOD teachers definitely showed
Right.
that they did great. It was a close series, the 32 win,
Right.
but yeah, maybe this next game will determine who they're going to be up against in the finals at DreamHack Austin.
Right, so will Itzball take this 3-0 for UBC and put them at DreamHack, or can Zazder make a comeback for his team?
Jaina versus Uther. I will fight with
Yep, that is the question at the moment. Definitely down
Wow.
to some of our last games.
Alright, so let's see. We got a freeze mage from Itzball's side. Let's see what kind of paladin we got from Zazder's side.
It looks like it's going to be like a secret paladin. Yep, what's those secrets it is.
Oh man, that's a rough starting hand as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd
So
say
it's
this is a
both.
pretty bad matchup. Ooh, the Doomsayer Frostova combo already in the hand of Itzbolt.
He doesn't even have to do an early Doomsayer because the paladin is not going to be doing anything for the next 2 turns.
Yeah, plus he's got the second one, which, yeah, I mean, this is pretty strong of an opening hand.
Okay, so Zazder has the option to either go for the Avenge or the Redemption. I'd probably like the Redemption, so just so your Knife Juggler, when it gets frostbolted or something, it comes back.
Right.
And we just see the frostbolt come out. So for
Alright.
Itzbolt here, I would probably go for the Blood Mage, just because you don't really need the spell damage. You just want to draw some cards early on, because the rest of his hand's not drawing cards.
It is going to be the Knife Juggler here, I think. He's got the Muster to follow it up the next turn. Don't really want to coin. I mean, you could coin Muster and then play Knife Juggler Avenge, but then you're probably going to get one of your 1/1s redemptioned.
Yeah.
Which, it's actually, like, okay, but yeah, saving the coin does seem pretty nice. Maybe he'll draw into a bigger threat for later in the game. Ragnaros could definitely be an MVP of this matchup if he's playing it.
Right. Ragnaros is insane against freeze mage.
Yep, it is. I would say it is the best card to have against Freeze Mage, even better than something that like destroys secrets. Like
That
it's
and Ironbeak Owl, I would say,
Yeah.
are the ones that really destroy you in this matchup. When you're like really relying on that Doomsayer turn to go off.
Yep.
Alright.
Except for Nary Secrets, this is definitely not what the
Right.
Paladin wants to be doing. We do see a Flame Strike from its both Freeze Mage deck, so he does have
Reporting for duty.
what we saw
So it
last
looks like
week as
Zazder's
well.
gonna be coining out a secret. I like this. Coining out the Avenge, so making
Yeah.
like the ping really awkward here.
And also he's going to be playing Shredder next turn anyways.
Right.
So might as well get the secrets down. We did see Divine Favor in his opening hand, so he might be playing around, dumping his entire hand, try to find a divine favor. Because
That's true.
what I find when I'm playing Freeze Mage against Secret Pally, if they get a super huge divine favor, the game actually becomes quite a bit harder.
Yeah.
Because they
I
find their
agree.
threats and their answers, and they normally could pop you, and they found their Lotheb in time.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the better cards in the matchup. Actually goes with a ping face and to not play anything.
Right.
Seems, I mean, he's definitely expecting the avenge, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if he was expecting Avenge, he could have just frostbolted whatever gets avenged out. But that would be his second frostbolt, which would make his ice lances pretty useless.
Yeah, this play is definitely better when you're looking to Frost Nova into Doomsayer on this turn. You just don't really
Yeah.
need to worry about the secrets. He's got a Flame Strike for later in the game as well. The one thing its Bolt's hand is lacking, I would say, is just like some card draw, some cycle. But okay, he's gonna be a little greedy here, I think.
Oh, he's setting up for a Flame Strike in 2 turns. Yeah, this is I would say is actually pretty greedy. I guess
Yeah.
what he's thinking is that paladins don't have that much direct burn from the hand. So if he's able to deal the board, he takes a bit of damage early on. But if he's able to control the board later into the game, then he's going to be in a much better position. Because if he goes for the Doomsayer Frost Nova now, he doesn't really have a good follow-up turn. But
Right.
Doomsayer Frost Nova almost always goes off. So
Yeah.
But this
You know
this
what?
flame strike in 2 turns seems kind of slow to me. Like, is he?
It's,
I'm not sure.
I actually see what its Bolt is doing here. I think I like this play because he's looking at you know, his opponent's board as the paladin, and he's like, he'll probably play some more stuff on this next turn, and he might have an Iron Beak Owl. So if I do go for the Frost Nova Doomsayer play now, then I don't really have anything to do on the next turn. But this
Yeah.
way, he freezes a bigger board, prevents more damage, gets the Frost Nova Doomsayer out, and even if there's an Iron Beak Owl, he has a Flame Strike for the following turn.
yeah,
So
Okay.
this actually makes a lot of sense, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
super heads up play.
Right.
Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Going for the Frost Nova Doomsayer now. If it doesn't work
So-
out, he always has the Flame Strike after.
Right. But Knife Juggler off the top is not gonna do it for Digipen here. So he's gonna just have to go with the attack face and pass.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. He does get the 2-drop off the Shredder, but it's not doing that much.
Right.
What could be the best thing that comes out of it in this
But to be
matchup?
honest, like this board wasn't. It was a board of 1/1s,
Oh.
right? Oh, and he got the best one. He got Millhouse Mana Storm
Plus
with the Avenge.
Still
Oh,
dies
man.
to Fireball, though.
Right.
Yeah,
that is a
unfortunately.
big Millhouse though.
Another little thing here. Zazdur did not play his Noble Sacrifice, and I think it's because when you draw your Mysterious Challenger, you want to get the Noble Sacrifice out of your deck because you don't want to draw it later on.
Right.
Yeah.
So holding
Like
on
that.
to the Noble Sacrifice in a matchup like this, like it's not, no one's gonna be attacking into you right now, so
Right.
no reason to play it. I like holding on to it so he can draw off the Mysterious Challenger.
Right.
Yeah, and if he draws Divine Favor, he could just play it anyways.
Right.
And it costs 1 mana.
Yep.
Coghammer. So I think, like, Zaster is kind of blanking on his draws here. He's been drawing Seekers for a couple turns, and he's like, alright, I just really want to see one of my big minions by now. But if he happens to draw into his Divine Favor next turn, could turn this game around, especially because the Freeze Mage is already running really low on cards.
Oh, that's...
Oh, that Alex draws off the top, but it's not going to be able to be played this turn anyway.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, Itspot doesn't have many good ways of actually just winning the game. He was able to
Right.
control the board and clear the board,
Right.
but
It's
if he
got
doesn't
more
have
remo-
any... Yeah, if he doesn't play anything to try to win, then the Paladin could just eventually just grind out the Freeze Mage. It doesn't happen too often. But with that Alex Strata draw, it's definitely going to be a really big turnaround. He might think about using this Doomsayer to try to set up a clean Alex next turn.
Right. I actually like that a lot. Because, so, let's say that we don't set up the Doomsayer this turn, we Alex him, we still don't have enough burn to kill him. And if our
Yeah.
Alex can't even attack because of this taunt in the way,
Yeah.
then we're in a pretty bad spot, right? He's gotta also be thinking, this is my last Doomsayer. So if the Giants start coming out after this, he doesn't really have a way to deal with them.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But if the Doomsayer comes out now and it goes off, he gets a free Alex turn, and then the Paladin will always be playing behind the Alex Strata. Oh, there's a Divine Favor.
Yeah, this
Um,
could be exactly what he needs.
Well, that yeah, that is what he needed.
So I think Isabel was also thinking about the Doomsayer dying to just the Keeper of Udaman, which the Paladin does have.
Right.
So it would have just died for free. And then that would have been actually perfect for the Paladin because he would be able to play the Udaman, a secret, and Divine Favor after.
Right. Bull
This
would
is
be
kind
able
of
to set up a
awkward.
flame strike, but yeah. Okay, so let's see first. How is Zazir going to carry out this turn? So he's got to dish as many cards as he can before he can play this Divine Favor, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
I'm
looks
guessing
like
it's just
holding
going
on
to
to the.
be.
It looks like holding on to the Nilla sacrifice actually kind of costs him because he can't play everything.
Right.
So maybe that's something you should have taken into account as well with the Divine Favor if he had enough mana to play everything, like depending on what he drew.
It's also possible that he draws into something else that he can play now, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, still
He
one
draws
less.
2 cards he can play now.
Right, it's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's one less like card drawn, but it's more cards put into play, which I guess still works out
Yeah.
pretty well.
You might want to keep that Udaman anyways, in case he can't deal with the Alexstrasza or the Thorson.
Right.
Yep.
He finally finds that challenger off the top as well. Question is, this is actually looking a little dicey for Itzbal here. If he Alex draws it here, there's a very good chance he gets popped next turn.
Yeah.
So he's got to be thinking, okay, maybe we can't Alex this turn.
Especially without the follow-up burn. But he does have the
Right.
second ice block, but if I had a lot of burn in my hand, I might consider just going for the Alex and set up 2-turn lethal after that. But because I don't have the burn, because there's no burn in
Right.
Iceborne hand side of
You have
Frost.
to top deck, like...
Yeah, it's really risky.
I think you'd have to top deck 2 burns in a row for that even to be viable.
Yeah.
And with that True Silver in hand, he's gonna heal for 4.
And so the refill from
Yeah, he only got the competitive spirit off of this this mysterious challenger.
Okay.
Is this starting to be the time where you just go for the Alex and pray, or are you trying to stall out some more? Because if
I
you're
think
not
he has
playing
to
the,
go for it.
yeah, if you're not playing the Alex this turn, you're just going for the Arcane Intellect Scientists, or maybe try to draw into your Frost Nova so you can do it with your Doomsayer. Either way, the Arcane Intellect play seems a little bit risky, so if you just draw a bunch of burn with your Intellect, you definitely want to just play the Alex this turn.
Right. I think so. Last turn we had a choice of Flame Strike or Arcane Intellecting. I think last turn I would have liked to see the Intellect come out to try to pull up some burn before we Alex him.
I feel like the Flame Strike last turn just because it cleared the board. It's just that this
Right.
turn he had the Challenger plus Muster.
Right.
Oh, and the Lotsab too.
Oh man, that Lothab could
Oh
just
my
lock out
goodness.
this game for Digipen and start their comeback.
Yeah, the aggressive Alex Straza with a reasonable amount of backup here in the form of like Ice Block, Arcane Intellect, Frostbolt. Might not pan out here for Itzbolt.
Right. So, Itzbolt is getting popped this turn for sure. Question is, so Sinage is gonna play this Lothab almost 100%, I would say.
Yeah.
When your opponent Alex draws you like this, actually,
Actually,
alright,
you
to be
don't have
fair,
to.
right,
You
not
choose
this turn. I would say it's actually if you just True Silver, yeah, you're right, Jared. You don't have to actually Lothab this turn. It's impossible for them to kill you from 17 without using Emperor.
Yeah, because he didn't play the Emperor. That's a big thing.
Right.
So if he Lothabs after the second block is popped, there's no way he loses the game.
Right. So Sinage actually has to swing.
Oh, he's not. Okay, he's going for the Lothab then this turn. If he's doing that.
Okay. Right, because so if we wanted to swing the True Silver to gain health, we have to swing first. And so this way he's
Yeah.
just gonna say we're gonna go in for the Lothab.
This is kind of an awkward line though, because you still could have played the True Silver, cleared the Alex, and popped the block, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
he could
I
have
just-
gained more HP
He would've been
over
at
these next couple
17.
turns. Yeah, so
Yeah.
he would have been at 17, then 19, instead of 17 this turn, and then 19 the next turn. So it's like 1 turn delay on the extra 2 heal. It might not end up mattering here. Its Bolt is
Yeah, because he could have healed up to 19, and then if he
Right.
gets frozen, he could only be at 17.
Right. You could heal the 19 and
Frostbolt.
then Loatheb him, and it's like, what do
Yeah.
you do then? You can't
Yeah.
you can't lose from that position, right?
Yep.
There's actually like probably a sequence of top decks that could still win it for him. With this True Silver here, though, I'm gonna say probably not.
Yeah, its bolt is gonna need a board freeze into a face freeze
Right.
But yeah,
into
he
some
should swing
burn
with his True
spells.
Silver to face, so.
Yeah, he should. Its Bolt in this situation, Its Bolt could draw exactly another freeze here, another like a Nova, and then he has to Frostbolt the face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he could draw
um,
lethal
Right.
with it if he has the Doomsayer as well.
What do you guys think about Its Bolt playing the Scientist here instead of pinging?
I like it because he still has a barrier in his deck, right?
But the barrier is not
I
going
think
to save
so.
him at this point, right?
But it's
Um,
one less bad card to draw, if anything.
But versus pinging him, I'm not sure if it was
Yeah, actually,
relevant.
the barrier could actually be really good because if he could freeze the board, right? And
Right,
can't
then he
attack
doesn't need
with
to
True
freeze the
Silver.
face this turn.
Yeah.
You're right.
Another thing to note here is Zazdur missed his True Silver attack on that turn. Like he ended up popping the block with the minion.
Yeah. So he
Oh.
could get really punished here.
Yeah, Doomsayer Frost Nova.
Coming!
Right, that is actually exactly what Its Bolt needed. Wow, are we gonna see a miraculous comeback here?
We might. I mean, the barrier.
This barrier is
is-
gonna save him.
Yeah,
the
it's
barrier's
enough
going to save
HP.
him. He's going to play Antonidas plus Frostball to turn after.
Ooh, Tyrion Forging though.
Oh man. So this board is going down.
He
Yeah, the
could
Tyrion's not even
upgrade.
relevant because
Well,
he's
he
going
could-
to.
He could upgrade his True Silver to an Ashbringer, but Archmage can freeze the face.
Right. I don't think it doesn't matter though. I think we'd rather have the healing right now. There's no way. I don't think there's any way we're playing Tyrion into this board. Okay, so he's like, I'm gonna get the swing in and then play Tyrion. Maybe is what he's thinking.
He might just say to Tyrion for after his board gets wiped.
Okay. I'm curious
Like-
as to whether there are also any consecrations in Zader's deck, because that could have been another out.
I think it actually makes a lot of sense for Zazdur to play Tyrion
Oh,
here,
yeah,
because his
because-
opponent's at 5,
Yeah,
and he
forces
doesn't
him
know
to
if he has a freeze, so...
Yeah.
Great.
Like, that attack on a Tyrion, I think, is good. He could have been at 18, though, this turn, if he didn't miss that True Silver attack earlier,
Right.
but I don't think it's gonna matter, because Archmage...
This Archmage Frostbolt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then he
this
can just
Archmage
Fireball.
It's just gonna lock it
Fireball,
up.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'm pretty sure there's no answer here. Its Bolt is gonna take the series.
We'll see. Snig's gonna need a one-card wonder. Piloted Shredder is not it, I don't think. And I
Oh man.
believe that this is gonna mean that this is a 3-0
Wow.
sweep from UBC. Its Bolt, I think, is gonna take the win here. With this game, I mean, I'm trying to see if there's any way, like, Piloted Shredder, Hero Power. I think Zazdur's realizing it at this point. That this is gonna be a shutout finish. Dominant performance from UBC Esports, from University of British Columbia, of course. It's Bolt the coordinator. It's Bolt the Slayer, is what I'm hearing from the chat.
This chat is going crazy.
Slayer.
The hype is real as It's Bolt is going to take the 3-0 win for his team and take them up to DreamHack Austin, or down to DreamHack Austin, British Columbia. But yeah, they're
Great.
going to be playing in the finals versus the New York University Violet Teachers. Congratulations to It's Bolt and UBC Esports.
Right, and I think that was just like, it was very well executed from Its Bolt at the end there. I thought he was done for. But it was like, it was a really, really good turnaround.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
small mistake from the Paladin, but really good play from the Mage just made such a huge difference in that outcome.
Right.
yeah, it doesn't get much closer than that. I mean, that was a ridiculous game, right there, as well as a pretty solid series. Even though it was a 3-0 sweep, like we saw some pretty good games in there. We opened up with the patron mirror where no patrons were played until like the very end of the game, and yeah, wow, just well played to both teams here. Congratulations once again to UBC. It'll be exciting to see how they do in the finals.
But yeah, with that, that concludes our matches for the night. Thank you very much for watching. NYU and UBC, congrats. You have won your tickets to DreamHack Austin, and we will see you there.
Yeah, once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Twitch and Asus ROG. Also, the semifinals for our CSGO tournament kicks off tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific and 6 p.m. Pacific. The winners will move on to the finals, also at DreamHack Austin. StarCraft 2, the round of 4, will play on Tuesday for final spots as well. And for League of Legends, on Friday, round of 16 playoffs on C Star League happen at 6 p.m. Pacific and Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific. So be sure to check out those events. Yeah, it's been a great night. We saw some fantastic games. And this is the end of the road until we get to the finals at DreamHack Austin. An enormous thank you for those that supported us all season and helped grow collegiate Hearthstone here at the CSL. Next time you see the CSL back is for the finals, of course, at DreamHack on May 6th to May 8th. We hope to see you there, or hope you guys check it out, watch it, as I think it will be streamed. And be sure to follow at CSL Hearthstone on Twitter, and check out our Facebook for updates on any potential bonus content from now until the finals. And yeah, that's going to be it from me. I am at Nomodogan on Twitter. Hope everyone has a good night. Any other shout-outs, Chandyland or Jordude?
Yeah. If you guys enjoyed the stream or enjoyed our casting, definitely go check us out on our Twitters. I'm Cole_the Jordude. You can find me on Twitch as well at the Jordude.
Right.
With you, Chandy.
Alright, we all stream, so check us out. If you want to see more from us, I'm HL Chandyland on Twitter, just Chandyland on Twitch. And, Nomo?
Yeah, I'm also GG Nomodogan on Twitch. I think I will be streaming this evening, so
Nice.
that should be fun.
But yeah, thank you, and we'll see you guys at DreamHack.